Story time.
Hi, this is Chris Handenberg from Serious Squash. You're watching episode 9 of Storytime, and today I'm going to talk about my 4 main tips for kind of staying active and healthy while you're, if you're like me, stuck at home during the lockdown during the pandemic. So first thing I'm going to say is trying to do some home workouts at home. I know it sounds cliche, everyone's posting that kind of stuff, but very important just to stay active. Here in Canada, like it's cold out, there's a lot of snow, so a lot of people aren't able to even go and do some exercises maybe they would normally outside. They can't go biking and running and playing tennis and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people don't have access to gyms, so just doing a little bit at home, even if it's only a few times a week, it doesn't have to be a lot. That will make a huge difference. That's my first tip. Second tip I would have is definitely making sure that you do some stretching. While I don't know if you're like me, or maybe spending way more time sitting than normal. So make sure that at a certain point, maybe you're watching something on Netflix or doing a bit of work or whatever, just do a few stretches. Spend 5-10 minutes, maybe put a timer on, do a minute of stretch, and you'll definitely not be as achy, or your body will feel a lot better just from doing 5 to 10 minutes of stretching every day. Third one is just going to be paying attention to your posture. I know it sounds like you're back in grade school, but it's really important. If you're just like slouching, leaning over, sitting like this in front of a keyboard, for hours and hours on end, like your neck's not gonna feel good, your back's not gonna feel good, you're gonna be achy again. So really pay attention to your posture. Maybe try to do some of your work standing up. Maybe trying to do, just take breaks. I think that's really important, and make sure you have a good setup for your computer or whatever. I think that'll make a big difference. And the last one is again, very simple, but try to go for some regular walks. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but I think it's just really good to make sure you're moving around, and it's not necessarily that like that's going to be what's going to keep you fit, but I think it's a lot better for you than if you're just lounging around, lying around, and not really doing anything. So I think that's really important. And I guess actually I didn't really mention the importance of just make sure you do some core stuff while you're at home. So that kind of goes into a little bit of posture, a little bit of the first thing about doing some training from home. So make sure you do some of that stuff, and I think you'll come out of this and kind of be ready to kind of get right back into squash, and you won't have maybe gone where those who don't do that, they don't take care of their body, do these things, they're not as fun as squash. But if you don't do these kind of things now, then you're really going to pay for that later on. So I hope you enjoyed these tips. I know they're pretty simple, but very important. They build up as this pandemic's almost a year already now. It's crazy. So I think the longer it goes, if you're not paying attention to your health and your fitness, then you're really going to have a long time getting back to where you were, if you ever do. So if you haven't done that so far, just hopefully this is a little wake-up call, and just really get into a routine of doing it. Write out what you're going to do, which days, make time for it. And we have lots of time now, so there's no reason not to be able to do these types of things. So that's it for this episode, and a new one again in a few days.